Jesus Christ.
Welcome to Life Today Live. Happy Thanksgiving. I hope you have a great Thanksgiving. Get to spend some time with family. If not, even if you are, I appreciate you spending time with me today. If you're watching this live, most of you watch this in the replay. I get that. And hopefully by now the Cowboys have won. So, that's the way it is around here in Dallas-Fort Worth. There are a bunch of movies coming out. Some just out as recently as yesterday. And a lot of other series that are available to you all on Flix. And so we're going to talk to some of the people behind those projects, including the Kendrick Brothers that have made so many great films, War Room, Courageous, Fireproof, and they have a new one, as well as Camy Arnett, who's a wonderful actor. You'll probably recognize him from several of your favorite movies as well. All of these can be seen on Flix, and you can visit them at pureflix.com. If you haven't subscribed, you should. I do. Michael Scott is the CEO of Flix, who is bringing us all these great movies and series, and the holidays are just a big time, and so we're excited to talk to him. Michael, great to have you on Life Today Live.
It's a pleasure to be here, and Merry Christmas, Randy. It's that time of year already.
It is. But this is, like I said, this is a big time for you guys. Roll us through some of the highlights, and then we'll talk about some of the behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah, I mean, Christmas is always a big time at Flix. We love to serve families, and I think Christmas is all about families and getting together and around the fireplace and everything like that. And what better way to maybe do that? Find some great holiday titles that are at Christmas that will ultimately uplift, inspire your family. And we specialize in faith and family titles, but everything we do is safe to consume for the whole family, whether they're kids or adults in the room, they'll enjoy it. And all the movies that we're trying to do are always trying to draw people closer to God and their walk with God. And I think this holiday season with over 190 titles, it'll be no exception to that rule.
I'm not going to try to drag you into any controversy here. So, but let's be honest. The people that we used to rely on for good family films and holiday films, they're not things you want your family seeing these days necessarily.
I think that's so true. All you need to do is go pick up a remote control, flip on the TV, and you'll be like, oh, what is this? What is that? Right. It's the language, the sex, the violence, the things that are all you think. And it's dark sometimes. Even if it doesn't have those things, it's dark. And I think during the holiday season, we need to be reminded of who the reason for the season, which is ultimately Jesus. And I think that's what Flix likes to do. And I think this is a place where you'll be uplifted and a great place for the family.
No doubt. Do you want to highlight any of the particular series or films that are available now?
I'd love to. Like I said, we have over 190 titles, like 40 of them exclusive. We have some great title that's starring Kathleen Gifford called The Way. Yeah. We have the Thursday Night Club. We have some old classics. One of my favorites is Christmas with a capital C. We have a new movie called Angelic Christmas with Karen Abercrombie and Cameron Arnett. It's a fun one. And then also some family titles for Thanksgiving. We have the Lifemark movie, the new Kirk Cameron, Alex Kendrick movie starting on November 22nd. And that's all about adoption. And what better time to have a movie that's inspiring, uplifting, really shows the power of family around Thanksgiving. I think everybody should check out Lifemark as well. And so there's a ton of other ones, but those are a few to highlight.
So you went into a partnership with Sony Pictures, about a year or so ago? Is that right?
2 years ago. Yeah.
So I have noticed since then that some of your films have names like Harry Connick Jr., Lucas Black, who I've always thought was a really cool actor. Of course, you mentioned Kathleen Gifford. You've got some A-listers in your films.
No, that's a great cast. I think, our goal is always to try and improve the content, not only better quality, but more of it. And the title you mentioned, Legacy Peak, starring Lucas Black, is really good. Fun adventure film for the family. It's really cool. We got some stuff with Harry Connick Jr., Angel Sing, and I think that one's fun too. And so every year, I think our content's getting better and better. And that's really, I got to throw it back to the members that are on the service, all of our members. The more members we have, the more members talk about us, the bigger the service gets and the more titles we can bring in. And that's really a testament to each one of them. And I hope that during this Christmas season, these titles as well can have an impact.
Yeah, I am a subscriber, so I'm doing my part. If you're not a subscriber, go to pureflix.com right now and sign up. It's I mean, less than a cup of coffee, right? A month. Yeah. So I mean, it's worth it, and then you have access to great things that you'll enjoy and that you can play for everybody, right? Michael, go ahead.
It's great because it's on every device, whether you have a smart TV, a Roku, an Apple TV, whatever your device is. Download the PureFlix app, jump on. You get access to thousands of movies and TV shows that'll be good for you.
So I want to ask this because I am a little bit of an insider nerd. I work in television, right? What year did you start PureFlix?
So we originally started the studio in 2005, and then the streaming service that we're kind of talking about started in 2015.
Okay. So now we're almost at 2023. This has not been easy for you guys. This has been
never is. I think it's a lot of hard work. I think you start with an idea, like when we started the streaming service, say we're going to go do this, and you're figuring things out. You don't know exactly how it's going to work and everything like that. A lot of hurdles to get over, but at the end of the day, I think we've gotten over those hurdles, and we're able to deliver more and more content. And I always go back to a thing that happened with my son. People ask me why the streaming service, and I said, people go to movies maybe once a month, once a quarter, once a year in the theaters, but every day they're on television. When they come home from work, it runs right through until they go to bed. Yeah. And I remember my son, we were watching something one day, and there was this scene that came on. I quickly, put my hand over his eyes and, said, don't look, blah, blah, blah. And after that scene, he said, can you pause it? And he looked at me and he said, why is it okay for you to watch, but not me? Very convicting. And I thought about that a long time. And I think we always protect our kids, but we have to sometimes ask ourselves, what was we as adults bringing in through our eyes and ears? And right. I think the beauty of that really was, we need to have something great, pure, and something that can uplift your spirit and encourage you. And that was really kind of the genesis of the streaming company, to look for that alternative. So for both me and for him, we didn't have to worry about that.
Yeah, no, and I appreciate the hard work that you guys have put into it. And frankly, your response to that question was better than mine at the time. Because I just said, it's okay for me to make out with your mom, but it's not okay for you, son. And I think that lacks something, but my kids turned out okay anyway. All right, Michael, I appreciate your time. I really do appreciate your time. Appreciate your work. Is there anything you want to add to let people know during this season before I let you go?
I'd say everybody sign up, pureflix.com. And I want to say Merry Christmas to you, Randy, and Merry Christmas to everybody listening. Enjoy the holiday season.
Absolutely. And it's even better with PureFlix. Michael, thank you again.
Thank you so much, Randy.
There's a Christmas movie out now. It's called An Angelic Christmas, and it stars some wonderful people, Karen Abercrombie, and one of my favorite actors. And, he's not just a fine actor, he's a fine gentleman. And his name is Cameron Arnett, and he joins me. Camy, man, how are you doing? Good, so good to see you.
I am so good, man. Again, it's like you get to experience God's grace, and there's nothing else like it. So I've been good. All
right, man. Talk us through this movie a little bit. I'm excited. I'm thrilled to see you just creating more art and getting out there and having distribution and all that. But tell me about the film.
Yeah, well, An Angelic Christmas. Basically, you're dealing with the power of forgiveness. You're dealing with working through family issues. And so you have Karen Abercrombie, which of course is, another phenomenal person in Christ. And so she's an angel that's set to be a part of these people's lives in order to win her wings, to earn her wings. Okay. And so I'm the guy kind of like, walking her through the entire process of that. And it's just a fun movie, fun family movie, whereas you're watching people go through their issues, people that have gone through their pain, and how that power of love and forgiveness, just changes everything.
Yeah. So does that make you like the head angel? Is that what you are?
Yeah, I guess you can call me that. I'm not really sure exactly how everyone follows me, but the bottom line is that, I'm walking her through, and it's just, it was a fun process to go through. There's nothing like working with people that are in love with Christ and that are giving themselves to, just bring a message that can help people along the way.
And we're seeing a lot of new material on the Pure Flix platform since they partnered with Sony, a year or so ago. Is this giving people like you a better opportunity to make some great things?
I think it is. I think it is. What's happening is that, not only with the films, but the series and all those kind of things that are really kind of coming to the head right now. It allows for the opportunities, but it also allows for the opportunity for people to be able to watch things that are more conducive to their spirit.
Yeah.
More things that are, that will help their lives as opposed to take away from them. And so I think PureFlix is doing a phenomenal job. Affirm Films is doing a phenomenal job, bringing those things to the light, because I think as Christians especially, we are in need of keeping the choir, if you would. And we are also in need of building materials that will cause the lost to understand the love of God and how this all works. I think what I love about filmmaking is it's an opportunity to put on screen lives being lived, and so the lives that watch it understand, oh, this is how it works. This is how I can live it, and so it's bringing the pages to life, and I enjoy that.
Yeah, I love it. And I noticed that there's the Life Mark is out. It's a Kendrick Brothers movie, guys that you know well, right?
Yeah.
What else? Go ahead.
And if you haven't seen that movie, you got to go see it. Life Mark is another phenomenal film that the Kendricks have put out. Kevin Peoples and people like that are putting their hands together to make things happen. And that's another thing that's wonderful about this side of making films from a Christian perspective, is that you have people that are working together, no egos, no pride, that are lifting each other up in the process and causing those talents and gifts to be seen by the world.
Yeah, and I've noticed that there's a little broader talent pool on some of the PureFlix titles. They got special with Harry Connick Jr., Lucas Black was in a movie. Are you getting more opportunities to work outside sort of the smaller kind of Christian film community?
Well, yeah. I mean, I think what's happened, with Sony battering certain things, Lionsgate battering certain things, Fox battering certain things. You're moving. God is moving the Christian message within film and television to a broader mainstream, and so because of that, it allows more of us that truly belong to Him with the opportunities that to bring us out to the mainstream as well. And so at the same time that the films are getting well known to the world, and people are understanding the power within them, I think the opportunities for us as Christian actors has definitely increased, and I look forward to a whole lot more of that.
Yeah, I do too. And I know that anybody that sees you and Karen, some of these others on screen, they're going to love your work. You guys are great. What else are you working on? I'm just curious.
Man, quite a few things coming down.
It always is a few things.
Right now, also on PureFlix, we have Saved by Grace, which is a new series, an original PureFlix series that I am on, as well as Jennifer Taylor. And so we are the two lead angels in there. And what I love about it is a project that Johnny Remo has put together with other writers, and so it's just gritty. It allows you to see things on a scale where it really hits home, and I think a lot of secular viewers will actually see themselves and see how God wants to help them in that series.
Yeah, well, we'll check that series out too. What's the name of it again?
Saved by Grace.
Saved by Grace on PureFlix.
Right there on PureFlix. Yeah.
Man, I mean, you just I love it. I'm seeing more and more of you. I encourage everybody again to subscribe to PureFlix. I am a PureFlix subscriber. I mean, it's for the price of coffee a month, you get great things like
you can't beat it. I mean, to get that positive messaging and that's going to uplift you and show you how to live life correctly and have the blessing of God in your life. Can't beat it.
You can't beat it. And also it supports people like Camy Arnett and the work that he's doing. It gives him a place, gives the PureFlix has the resources, and Camy, because he's always bringing great ideas. And I appreciate, man, everything you do.
It's like, the secular world has their entertainment tonight and Access Hollywood and all that kind of stuff. And the Christian world needs people like you that are, promoting what we do and bringing it to the, not only to the Christian, to the mainstream, because I think what happens with you guys too is you get an opportunity to educate the saints on the practicalities of how this thing works. You know, it's like I try to tell people all the time, it's like when you see a film, Christian film coming out, you know, because you want to get it, because we're about salvation and you want to get it to the mainstream, you got to go see it in the opening weekend. You know, that's a practicality of it, so that the world knows that there is an audience out there that's, you know, that's important for them to cater to.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's a consumer-driven society, and every time you consume something, you're supporting it and empowering it financially and in the marketplace, and we got to do that with you guys.
And whether we like it or not, that's what we got. We also have to join into the practicality of keeping it going. Yeah.
Is there anything that you want to add before I let you go? I love what you do and love your time today.
Well, man, thank you so much, man. You know, without you guys also being the ones that are promoting what we do, you know, you're basically the foundation of what we do, because if without you, nobody will know what's going on. And so we thank you for, you know, highlighting us and highlighting the work, highlighting the writers, highlighting the actors, and the projects. And so, man, continue doing that, because we need you.
Oh, you dude, you know, you got an open invitation here Live Today Live anytime, because I love what you do. Thanks again, man.
I appreciate you.
Alex and Stephen Kendrick have brought you so many movies over the years, and their latest film is close to my heart as an adoptee. It's called Life Mark, and you can see it on Pure Flix, and there's a surprise for all of the Kendrick Brothers films, and I'll let them tell you about it. Alex and Stephen, great to have you on Live Today Live.
Good to talk to you. Yeah, our pleasure.
I want to start with Life Mark, which is coming out, and I'm curious because of all the different ideas, you know, you could do. As someone who was adopted at birth, and I have my own wild and crazy story about finding my biological parents that I won't go into today. Why did you guys decide to go with this theme for this film?
Well, you know, it's a sensitive topic in our culture right now, and lots of debate over when is life important? When does it matter? When do we consider it human? But we heard about this story. Kirk Cameron actually called us and told us about this story that he had recently been connected to. A 18-year-old girl rolls off the abortion table at the last second, decides to place her baby for adoption. So that alone was just incredible. And she places the baby for adoption. It's adopted by a Christian couple that cannot have their own kids. They raised this baby. They named him David. When David turned about 18, 19 years old, he was able to cross paths and meet his biological mother. And it went better and more powerfully than anybody could imagine. And the biological mother just melted, thinking that he would hate her. And he just wraps her up in this beautiful hug and says, thank you for the decision you made. I'm so grateful to you. I love my family. I want you to meet my family. And so it was a beautiful story. And interestingly enough, that part of the story where he physically met her and was able to reconnect was captured on video. And we got to see that video. And so we said, this has got to be a movie, because when they reconnected, they now both speak around the country on behalf of life and adoption and love. And so David is now in his 20s, newly married, and he is a lawyer that helps other families adopt children.
Oh, wow.
And then Melissa Coles, the biological mother, speaks around the country about that decision and why the Lord has helped her to walk through that, to even heal. And it is such a beautiful story. So we said, Kirk, this has got to be a feature film. And so Kirk helped executive produce it with us, and he's in the movie as well. And so Life Mark is our first true story, and it is a beautiful one. And at the end of it, it's going to be hard to argue against the value that God gives each of us and the beauty of adoption.
Oh, I absolutely love it. Did you just give away the whole film?
No, there's lots of twists. There's lots of twists and turns that you need to experience, but just to walk through the story. And by the way, the real people can be seen in the movies. They were there on set with us, so it was awesome to have them with us.
Even the people who've seen the documentary are enjoying the movie so much because you get to see lots of gold nuggets that were left out of the documentary, and we get to go into the hearts and minds of the people with flashbacks as to how they were wrestling through all these issues. And so we've enjoyed it because This movie is very unique for us. We adopted this story in a sense. And so, but for us to be able to go through the real dialogue of these real people, to be able to hit these hilarious moments that they had, these tearjerker moments, inspirational things that they said to one another. We even have de-aged Kirk Cameron and Rebecca Rogers 20 years to show the whole journey of adoption that they went through at the same time. So we've loved the reviews that we've gotten from it, and we're already hearing about amazing stories of people making the decision to support life or adoption as a result of seeing the film. So we're excited. It's coming out on PureFlix now.
Yeah, and it's available now on PureFlix. You can also go to lifemarkmovie.com, and get more information about the film, watch the trailer. But you mentioned our early reviews, or the people that have seen it. I guess quite a few people have seen it by now. What kind of responses are you getting? And I'm curious, have you got any negative yet? I mean, mainly Christians are watching it, so.
Each of our films that comes out, you always have people that don't agree with your spiritual view or perspective. So each of our films has been criticized to some degree, but we expect that and can live with that because of the number of people it is reaching and touching. LifeMark surprised us because the critical reviews were positive. The audience reviews were positive of one of the highest rated movies we have ever made.
Wow.
And we were so thrilled with that. But you know what? At the end of the day, it's hard to argue against a true story.
Yeah.
And so the fact that we were able to work with the real people, put this together and let it speak for itself, ministered to more people than we expected.
Well, and this movie was given a PG-13 rating. There's no language in it. There's no sexual morality in it. Basically, she chooses not to have an abortion. And I guess the MPAA thinks a girl not having an abortion and choosing adoption is somehow something we need to warn people about. But this movie is safe for the whole family. There's an emotional scene when she walks into the abortion clinic and wrestles through and changes her mind and walks out. But we've shown our kids this movie. They've been moved by the storyline. We think that families are going to be inspired. We had no idea that Roe v. Wade was about to be overturned. I mean, God's timing in all of this, because right now we're trying to communicate a message that love chooses life.
Yes.
And when love chooses life, this is not a political issue. This is a love issue and a life issue and a sanctity of life issue, and God making us in the image of God. So we've had some critical reviews, a few handful of people that are like, oh, I had no idea this was going to be a political film. It's not. It's just a true story.
Right.
We don't talk about politics or Republican, Democrat, any of those things in this film. We just say, watch this true story and be inspired by it.
So Kirk Cameron's not wearing a Trump hat in the movie or anything?
No.
All right, now what are we up to? 8, 9 films, 7, 8, 9? How many is this for you?
I think LifeMark is our 8th film. It's our 8th film, including Show Me the Father, our recent documentary, which was theatrically released. So we loved doing it, and are so grateful for the opportunity to tell it and want everybody to see it. So today you can get it on PureFlix and stream it, and then on December 13th, you can download it digitally or watch the Blu-ray DVD, and it's got a ton of features on the disc that you will want to see, that will grab your heart, make you laugh. You'll find interesting in the process that we use to de-age people digitally, or all the special effects, deleted scenes, bloopers, all of it's on there. And so it'd be a great Christmas gift.
Now, you also have a special announcement for the other films, your library, which has some really great films. War Room, Courageous, Fire. I mean, you guys have really put together a great library of films. And what's happening with that?
Well, December 13th, all 8 of our movies are coming out on the same day, DVD, Blu-ray. There's going to be a 7-pack of everything Sony has released that will be in Walmart and all the stores. We've never had that before, where everything that's been featured, the new version of Courageous Legacy will be on there as well. And then LifeMark is also hitting the stores on the same day. And so we were talking about 20 years of making films is all coming out on the same day, that people will be able to watch and enjoy with their families. Great Christmas gift, because anybody that you want to inspire, whether it's marriage, fatherhood, life, faith, all those things, those are all featured in these films. And so We have been praying with every film that God will place his hand of blessing on them and bless the people who watch the movie. So Thanksgiving, great time to watch LifeMark on Pure Flix. And then Christmas, as you're ramping up for Christmas, we would encourage you not only inspire people, but give them something that could potentially change their lives with these other films as well.
Your first film, was that Flywheel? Was that your first
Flywheel?
One? Flywheel. Do you know the TBN story behind that? I don't.
The TBN story. What is that?
Yeah. So Jan Crouch got a hold of Flywheel and liked it and wanted to air it. And Paul Jr. was working there at the time, and he was like, a movie, this independent kind of film, And she's like, oh, it's great. We got to air it. And he was like, I don't know. So they aired it, and then they aired it again, and then they aired it again. Every time they aired it, their audience shot up, just crazy. And so you guys have been making a mark. Would you say 20 years now? Can you believe it's been that long?
Yeah, it's crazy. It really is crazy.
What's on the horizon? Are you planning the next one?
We're developing it right now. Don't want to let the cat out of the bag just yet, but we're excited to shoot the new one next year. And we think that the Lord has given the direction and the theme. And so we're developing that right now.
Please pray for it.
Yeah. So can't wait for that one to come out and for the Lord to do whatever he wants to do.
We're excited about it.
Another political film?
No. No.
But
a story that's going to minister to people.
Yeah. And that's what you guys do. And that's an interesting thing because there was no mold for this when you guys started this to do. We're going to do quality films that are entertaining but actually minister to people. I can only imagine the testimonies from people that have walked out of your various films with their lives changed.
Well, and we recognize, we can try to make a movie, but God is the one who changes the heart.
Yeah.
And so we're sharing truth that we didn't make up. I think about these strutting pastors, people, their lives are being transformed. I'm like, you're talking about Jesus dying, but he had to do the dying part. You talk about how he can save people and save a marriage and save a family or heal somebody. He's the one who's actually doing it. So we recognize that every good thing about our films has been something God has done. Everything that people consider cheesy and lackluster, we have to take credit for that.
That's on us.
But we're super grateful that God has allowed us to be in this whole sphere of influence. And we hope to help raise up another generation of Christian filmmakers as well to pass the baton to. So,
well, you guys have to put in the hard work, and I appreciate you guys doing that. Thank you guys for sharing with us today.
Great to be with you.
Yeah, good to see you, Brady. Take care.
Well, I hope you have enjoyed these conversations as much as I have, and have a wonderful Thanksgiving. And do check out An Angelic Christmas, as well as LifeMark and all the other great movies and series on pureflix.com. If you haven't signed up, pureflix.com. And we'll see you again next time here on Life Today Live.